you could somehow explain a dude in a wheelchair who's going to be in a 17 by 17 foot ring in 5 weeks. And it's one of these spots where I don't know who's going to screw it up. Is he end up pot committed at one point?
Boxing pros have given a shocking reaction to Mike Tyson's new wheelchair video after he got injured before the Jake Paul fight. Mike Tyson's comeback fight has raised significant concerns, especially following recent reports of Tyson's health scare. With just months remaining before his upcoming competition, Mike Tyson's health has become a focal point of concern. A photo of Mike Tyson has been leaked online that depicts him negatively.
All right, Ted, the other day I saw a picture of you. You were in a wheelchair. What was that all about?
Oh, I have sciatica every now and then. It flares up, and when it flares up, I can't even talk.
Is that the only health problem you got right now? I mean, hopefully that's the only thing you have, and you don't need, I mean, I hope you don't have sciatica right now, but otherwise you're in good health?
In the picture, the brawler looked anything but himself. He appeared lethargic as he was wheeled around in a wheelchair. Representatives for Tyson have provided a positive report on the fighter who is beloved by the fans, despite his health concerns. Thankfully, Mr. Tyson is doing great, insisted Tyson's team following the scare. They added, he became nauseous and dizzy. He is appreciative to the medical staff that were there to help him. Meanwhile, Jake Paul has taken a stand against his rivals KSI and Dillon Danis for circulating old images of boxing icon Mike Tyson in a wheelchair in light of Tyson's recent health issues. KSI and Danis, who both have ongoing beef with Paul, recently shared photos of Tyson in a wheelchair. The former heavyweight world champion has since explained that the images were from a sciatica flare-up he was dealing with. Paul responded on social media by reposting a message from his promoter, which read, KSI and Dillon Danis are very similar people. They both posted a 2-year-old picture of Mike Tyson to mislead their audience, referring to Tyson's health. Mike Tyson is feeling great after an ulcer flare-up on a cross-country flight. There has been mounting worry about Tyson's health as he prepares for his upcoming fight against Paul. At 58, the boxing legend is set to make his ring return, with his last appearance being a lackluster draw in an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. The bout with Tyson will feature 8 rounds, each lasting 2 minutes, and is billed as a professional contest that will impact their official records. Tyson's most recent professional match concluded with him retiring on his stool after the 5th round against Kevin McBride. In contrast, Paul has emerged triumphant in 10 of his 11 bouts, with his sole defeat being a setback against Tommy Fury last year. His impressive record includes victories over a diverse range of opponents, from athletes in other sports to experienced MMA fighters and seasoned journeyman boxers. When the Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul bout was announced, fans were both stunned and divided. The realization that Tyson would be 58 years old on fight night left many in disbelief. Some were convinced that Tyson would easily overpower Paul, while others feared that his advancing age could make the match a perilous gamble for the legendary fighter. As the fight approaches, Tyson has captured attention with his intense training videos, showcasing a remarkable return to form. At his age, he's in impressive shape, and his punches still pack a powerful punch. However, the journey back to this point was anything but easy. Tyson recently opened up about his struggle with sciatica, a condition that triggers intense pain, weakness, and numbness, radiating from his lower back all the way down his leg. Tyson said, "It's a miracle because I didn't know what was going to happen with my life. I was scared I was going to be in a wheelchair the rest of my life. You get so discouraged. When your back hurts, there's nothing I can do. I'm useless." On the other hand, Tyson made an appearance on the Impulsive YouTube show, hosted by Logan Paul, the older brother of Jake Paul. During the episode, Logan voiced his concern about Tyson facing off against his brother, offering a word of caution to the legendary former baddest man on the planet. Logan Paul told Tyson that he was very nervous for him and expressed his concern, saying that he wanted Mike to be okay in the situation. He urged Tyson to take Jake seriously.
I love you, Mike.
Same.
And I'm very nervous for you.
Thank you for caring.
I do care. I care about you. And I care about my brother. And I know the path he's on right now. And it's ruthless, Mike.
I agree. It's pretty cool.
It's cool. It's so cool to watch. And he's really crushing it. And I just feel like I want you to be okay in there, Mike.
Tyson responded by saying that he took Jake extremely seriously, noting that others might not take him as seriously. He reflected on his 58 years of experience, stating that anyone is capable of killing, and this had made him cautious of everyone. Tyson summarized the situation by saying that in the end, 2 men would fight, someone would win, and then they might fight again before going to their separate banks and continuing with their lives.
And I want you got to take him serious, Mike, because
I take him extremely serious. These people don't take him serious. serious.
No, they don't, and it's such a mistake because he's a real killer, Mike. Like, he wanted to be a Navy SEAL before he started boxing. Like in high school, he wanted to be a Navy SEAL. He wanted to go kill people on behalf of his country. And
I'm fearful of my 13-year-old son. And this is what I learned through my 58 years of experience. What my experience is, that anyone's capable of killing you. In my life and the way I lived my life and what I've seen, anyone's capable of killing you. So you should be apprehensive for anyone. That's just my life, the life that I live. Everyone around me, anybody I know is capable of killing you. Even if I don't know you, that's how I look at people. They're all capable of killing you. So I look at them at that, and my objectives like this. So they're capable of killing me. I don't sleep on them. I'm not overconfident with anybody in life.
Tyson revealed later in the interview that his lack of boxing expertise is what sets him apart from Paul's past opponents. Tyson stated that he viewed Jake as a killer, emphasizing that this was his perspective. He challenged anyone who thought he was too old for the fight to tell him directly. Tyson pointed out the difference between himself and the other opponents Jake had faced, explaining that while they weren't apprehensive or afraid of Jake, he was both apprehensive and scared, which set him apart from the others.
he is, Mike,
That's how I look at him.
and he's getting like better and better. It's crazy.
I know this. I know that's why I got to get him before he gets too good.
You're right.
However, the former heavyweight champion, once feared as the most dangerous man on the planet, might be risking it all by stepping back into the ring. But when questioned on Sunday about his decision to fight Jake Paul, his response was swift and decisive. "Because I can. Who else can do it but me? Who else is he going to fight to make this happen?" Tyson said, motioning toward the crowd at a packed press conference where fans cheered the former heavyweight champion and booed Paul. He added, "We've just got to listen to the facts. We've got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived." Tyson and Paul have reignited the hype for their upcoming clash, now slated for November 15th at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Originally scheduled for July 20th, the bout was postponed after Tyson experienced nausea and dizziness during a flight from Miami to Los Angeles in May. His team later revealed that the incident was due to an ulcer issue. Tyson said he felt good and had resumed exercising 2 or 3 weeks earlier. "Hey, listen, I'm just ready," Tyson said. From 1987 to 1990, Tyson reigned as the undisputed heavyweight champion. Although he hung up his gloves in 2005, he made a surprising comeback in 2020 for an exhibition match against Roy Jones Jr. His return has ignited enthusiasm among fans, so much so that many were turned away on Sunday when the press conference for his final day at the Fanatics Fest in New York drew an overwhelming crowd. Paul exchanged blows with the combatant on the other side of the platform as well as the hecklers. Paul said, "Hey, New York, you're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago." Tyson's prime is well behind him, and Paul is fully aware that beating a legend past his best won't earn him much praise. However, the ex-Disney Channel star, who confidently claims he's destined to be a boxing champion, believes there's still value in stepping into the ring with Tyson, even at this stage. Paul said, "Big moments, big pressure, big stages, one of the greatest to ever do it. More experience than me, more fights than me. I'm going to learn a lot in this fight and through this training camp. So this is helping me in my future fights and everything that I want to accomplish." After Tyson was forced to withdraw, he stepped in to face bare-knuckle fighting champion Mike Perry on July 20th. In a thrilling bout, he triumphed over Perry in the 6th round. Perry, much like several of Paul's previous opponents, hails from the mixed martial arts arena rather than a boxing background. He is now eager for his second shot, having preferred to fight Tyson back then. Paul said to Tyson, "I was ready before, you needed a little break. Your tummy still hurts?" The upcoming Netflix-streamed showdown will be an official match, featuring 8 two-minute rounds and heavier gloves than typical. However, the most authentic boxing experience might actually be the one before it, the highly anticipated rematch between super lightweight champion Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. This fight revisits Taylor's electrifying 2022 win, which was historic as the first women's boxing match to headline Madison Square Garden. Paul aims to showcase his aspirations in boxing, while Tyson might reveal the prowess he once possessed. Despite his health challenges, he insists they won't hinder his performance. Tyson said, "I had a small adversity. I got sick, but I'm better. I feel good." Meanwhile, Carl Froch believes Tyson is not being authentic in the build-up to his fight with Jake Paul. At 58, Tyson is set to make a surprising comeback in a high-profile match against YouTube sensation Paul this November, a move that has sparked considerable debate among boxing enthusiasts. At their launch press conference, the air crackled with anticipation as both fighters vowed to deliver a knockout victory. Tensions escalated dramatically when Tyson gave Paul a firm shove during their final face-off. However, Froch has maintained that Tyson and Paul's battle just isn't supposed to be happening. He said, "Mike Tyson, I think he is just playing his role. In my opinion, Mike Tyson has probably got the script, because when I saw that press conference, there was a half-hearted shove. Jake Paul stood there stern-looking and didn't even say anything, so to me it all just looked contrived and fake." Froch further added, "It's not even pantomime. It is worse than pantomime because for me as an ex-pro boxer, it is just not enjoyable to watch. We want to see Jake Paul get flattened. That is the appeal. Can Mike Tyson render Jake Paul unconscious? But unfortunately, in the real world, that will not happen." At 58 years old, he's been sharing training clips to showcase his fitness, aiming to display the signature strength that marked his dominant peak years. However, there are still many who strongly oppose the fight, in which Tyson will make his first appearance since quitting in 2005. Froch said, "I just think it is a shame that Tyson is getting in the ring with this idiot fake Paul. It is just a clown world. It shouldn't be happening. I don't like it. But I hope Tyson can go in there and not get hurt and make a few quid." Paul maintains that considering Tyson's strength, he is still quite dangerous and shouldn't be taken lightly. Paul said, "They'll never give me credit, that's the way it is. If I was walking on water, they would say it's because I couldn't swim. And this is to make history. The people think I'm going to get knocked out by this strong, powerful guy. All the people in my comments say, 'Look at his power. He's going to get KO'd." Paul added, "This has taken a chance to fight somebody as vicious as Mike can be. You gotta risk it for the biscuit. That's the name of the game. I'm here to make history. I'm here for a challenge. I'm here to fight one of the most dangerous men in all of boxing. No one that ever did anything great got there with ease or by an easy, non-bumpy road. I'm here to challenge myself. He's vicious. He's a killer. I know all of these things. He has one-punch knockout power." In the world of boxing, Jake Paul, more known for his reality TV antics than his pugilistic prowess, has unearthed a 58-year-old Mike Tyson for a Netflix showdown. What better stage for this spectacle than a streaming platform, where every essential ingredient for a reality hit is present? You have two celebrities, one a relic of yesteryear's fame and the other a modern-day sensation. Both draw massive followings, and with a mere tap on their phones, they can capture global attention. In today's media landscape, that's all it takes to launch a project like this. Instead of causing harm by involving someone, it's clear that the damage has already occurred. The strategy here isn't to gloat over Mike Tyson's past struggles, but to downplay them, ensuring he remains committed and ready to face more on fight night. This approach mirrors how reality show participants were once misled by the show's premise to secure their involvement. Similarly, Tyson, akin to a resident in a care home whose delusions are reinforced by caregivers, is constantly reminded of his identity, not as a retired fighter, but as an active, formidable presence. At 58, Tyson is encouraged to believe that he still belongs in the ring, as dangerous and intimidating as ever. Likewise, Jake Paul, whose existence resembles a never-ending reality show, will fall prey to the same illusion. He too will be convinced of his own prowess as a boxer, an intimidating and formidable one. He will come to believe he truly belongs in the ring, despite his limited training and his tendency to face opponents with little boxing experience.
But yeah, I thought it was good. I thought Mike, I don't know, Mike was a little bit weird. When he was pushing me though, he was having the time of his life.
Yeah, so when Jake and Mike did their face-to-face at the end of the press conference, first thing Mike did was come to Jake, started throwing punches, some pushes.
He's like giggling and smiling and shit.
Last press run for Mike when the fight was first on, you were tubby. Like, you were the tubbiest I've seen Jake. So I can't blame him for calling you tubby.
Peak male performance bod is fat.
Jake Paul's professional boxing career has, in essence, been a spectacle of illusions and deceptions, surrounded by yes-men who echo only what he wants to hear and indulged for the sake of clout. Paul has been fed a delusion akin to the one currently feeding Mike Tyson. On November 15th, both will step into the ring in a charade watched by millions, including those who professed they'd look away. They'll don boxing gloves and mimic the movements of fighters, one encumbered by age, the other by ineptitude, and together, they'll rake in staggering sums of money. Unlike traditional pay-per-view fights, there will be no additional fees. Standard subscribers can watch the bout as part of their regular monthly subscription. With more than 250,000 paid subscribers tuning in globally, the potential for this fight to attract massive viewership is significant. Currently, the record for streaming numbers is held by last year's AFC wildcard football game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins, which garnered an impressive 23 million views. Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's blockbuster showdown has stirred up controversy in the combat sports community. This highly anticipated, fully sanctioned boxing bout will feature some deviations from standard pro rules, with the fighters going toe-to-toe in 2-minute rounds and sporting oversized gloves. The controversy surrounding the event has only fueled curiosity, and without a pay-per-view barrier in place, it's anticipated that the duo will attract colossal viewership numbers. Back in 2020, when they headlined the same card, taking on Nate Robinson and Roy Jones Jr. respectively, they reportedly generated over 1.8 million pay-per-view buys. I think that was like the 8th biggest ever. I think everyone would be happy with like 25 million, Paul told Bloody Elbow during a media scrum today, ahead of PFL's big October 19th Battle of the Giants between Francis Ngannou and Renan Ferreira. He added, that would break the streaming record of the AFC game, the one before the Super Bowl, which was streamed on Peacock and got like 22 million live viewers. So if we beat that, everyone is going to be happy. Paul further added, maybe we're entering the streaming era of boxing, where it kind of goes back to being a free model. Before, everyone would watch on TV and they would just turn the channel and it'd be there. We might be going back to that with all the piracy issues. And it's insane that this will be the most watched fight ever. Naturally, those figures attract skeptics who argue that Tyson's age should keep him out of the ring. At 58, and with a 31-year difference between him and his opponent, many question whether he should be gearing up for fight night. But Paul has hit back at the critics, saying, I don't get it at all, but I also don't understand people in general. People are dumber than a box of rocks, and I don't expect them to understand fighting in general. He further said, they won't understand gaining experience or the honor of stepping into the ring with a legend. These people probably don't know what honor is, like stepping into the ring with a legend or doing legendary. The fact that Netflix is involved, the fact that Mike Tyson wants it to be a pro fight, if Uncle Mike is down, then so am I. Paul and Tyson's match was delayed. After experiencing a painful ulcer flare-up during a flight, doctors advised Tyson to halt his training regimen and seek immediate medical attention. But he's adamant that he's back to his best and that he will be prepared to fight on November 15th at all costs. I'm beautiful and I've been training, Tyson replied when asked by Bloody Elbow what his latest medical update was from doctors. He added, I've been training for a while, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I'm okay to fight. I'm in camp right now. Francis Ngannou, who has trained alongside Tyson in the past year, is confident that Tyson's skill level remains far beyond Paul's reach. During a media day event for his PFL comeback fight against Renan Ferreira, Ngannou shared his harsh forecast for the matchup with Bloody Elbow. Ngannou said when asked for his thoughts on the bout, I think Tyson will still beat his. He's definitely not as he was when he was young, but when he moves around you and shows you something, you're like, what the hell is this? That's something that people don't understand about Mike Tyson. He moves from your left to your right in the blink of an eye. Ngannou and Paul have descended upon Washington, D.C. to unveil the highly anticipated October 19th Battle of the Giants. Yesterday, the celebrity boxer took center stage to host the launch event. In a momentous clash, the reigning MMA heavyweight champion squared off against the towering 6 feet 8 inches Renan Ferreira. On social media, fans couldn't help but joke about Paul supposedly matching up with the two giants in the same weight class, despite looking half their size in various clips and photos. Paul even chimed in with his own humor, quipping that he'd have made a hasty retreat if the duo had started any pushing and shoving. Ngannou noted, Jake Paul is not in our weight class. We barely noticed that he was there, other than the moment I walked in and shook his hand. But face to face to each other, when I looked into his eyes when I was looking up, I did not see Jake Paul at all. He wasn't in my line. Despite the swirling controversy, Paul remains undaunted and enthusiastic about squaring off against one of boxing's legends. In fact, he's savoring the predictions of defeat from notable figures like Ngannou and Randy Couture. I love it, Paul said in response to Ngannou's brutal prediction for his next fight, which will be his 4th in 11 months. He added, it's not going to be an easy fight. I think the first 4 rounds are going to be very difficult for me. And if I can weather the storm of Mike Tyson, the baddest man, hardest puncher on the planet, then I believe I can pull ahead in the later rounds and be able to stop him actually. But Francis is not wrong. I oftentimes get scared of like that one punch, and I have to be alert the whole time. At Fanatics Fest in New York City, thousands were turned away from the event, one of the festival's top draws. The atmosphere was electric with local support for Tyson, as Paul provoked both him and the fervent hometown crowd. Once the undisputed champion of ferocity in boxing, Mike Tyson exudes an aura of invincibility that defies time and defeat. Despite a string of setbacks and the inevitable march of age, the legendary fighter remains one of the sport's most formidable figures. Even his mere words are enough to strike terror into the hearts of those who hear them. Though Jake Paul dominated the press conference with his brash talk, Tyson's every word sparked a fervent reaction from the New York crowd. During one of Paul's most intense outbursts, Tyson delivered one of the night's most spine-tingling responses. "You better come in shape," he warned, before adding that your health depends on it. Paul responded by ridiculing the decision to shorten the rounds to 2 minutes instead of the usual 3, even though the match had been officially recognized as a professional bout. The social media star remained relentlessly in troll mode during the event, rallying the audience with chants and poking fun at him for his YouTube fame. He also took jabs at New York, pointing out how the city's luster has dimmed over the years. Jake replied, "Hey New York, shut the f*** up New York. Boo yourself. New York. You're just like Mike Tyson. You were good 20 years ago. F*** you, New York." Meanwhile, Michael Bisping has taken a strong stance against Jake Paul's upcoming bout with Mike Tyson, denouncing it as a travesty. He calls the bout a joke, a farce, and even worse, a disgrace to combat sports. Bisping criticizes Paul as a mere pretender in the world of fighting, accusing him of choosing the path of least resistance. But can Tyson, despite being 58, still stage a surprise victory? Or is this bout merely a lucrative opportunity for the aging champion? Bisping didn't hold back, delivering a pointed critique of the fight and Jake Paul's involvement. He started by recognizing Tyson's past dominance, but was quick to highlight the reality that the man's almost 60. Bisping underscored that this Tyson is far from the fearsome fighter who once struck terror into his adversaries. Instead, he argued, "Jake, I hate to point out the obvious, that makes you look pathetic." Transitioning to the press conference, Bisping found Jake Paul's behavior especially troubling. Paul's comment to the booing crowd, "You're just like Mike Tyson, you were good 20 years ago," didn't sit well with Bisping. He saw it as Paul inadvertently admitting that the fight is lopsided. Bisping criticized Paul, saying, "You just admitted that you're going up against an old man, who is a legend of course, but he's not that guy anymore." Bisping didn't stop there. He went on to call Paul a disgrace to the combat world, adding, "You are a joke, you are a wannabe, you're a fake." To Bisping, this bout is merely a cash grab, a far cry from genuine athletic competition. During the heated press conference, Mike Tyson remained resolute, unshaken by worries about his age or former accolades. He confidently declared, "I'm doing this because I can. Who else can do it but me?" highlighting his unique position in the clash. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.